The comeback of a beloved 2000s band that just seemingly brought the world together when the news was announced. Everyone got so excited that they started throwing around the word emo again, as if the frontman Gerard Way doesn't actually hate the term himself. But it happened on Halloween, so I guess appropriate way, people who think that they're in any way involved in emo culture. Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and My Chemical Romance have returned, or else they're going to return, I should say. New graphics, new look on their social media accounts, and a new show coming to California December 20th. This is just going to be an honest interpretation and reaction to the news from a fan who's had My Chem in his life and their music in his life longer than he's been without it at this point. That fan is me, in case there was any confusion. One show only marked return. I waited to make this video just to see how this whole process would go. The tickets were $150 a pop, and obviously some people are saying that it took them a lot more cash than that. I'm talking thousands of dollars once they actually got through the line. And I'm glad to see that I waited, because this whole thing, it just, it doesn't have my heart in it. And part of that could be due to the fact that this is happening in California, because God only knows how many shows California gets that the rest of the world are just supposed to sit by and be like, oh, well, cool, I guess I'll just sit on my thumbs at home and do nothing again. It seemed like it was gonna be a nightmare scenario from the start, because obviously, even though they didn't say one night only, it's pretty much implied through the way that they're rolling this out. It's just marked return, and worldwide fans are probably going to try and snatch these tickets up. I would love to know down below in the comments if anybody actually got tickets for the event. But $150, they're non-transferable. You could only buy 2 per customer. It seemed like they were being really tight-lipped about this, but then the ticket prices started soaring up into the thousands. I saw several people on their Facebook page complaining once they actually did get through. And I think my biggest hang-up here is that the FOMO marketing that they've kind of rolled out, the fear of missing out, oh, you don't want to miss this, is really probably just the spearhead of a further campaign that's actually coming. Like, they're probably not just going to play one show. I could eat my own words a few months from now if they only do play one show, but it just feels like this is the tip of the iceberg. Like, they're probably gonna do a full tour after this and maybe even release new music. I've seen other big bands in the quote-unquote scene do this with sort of comeback shows, but again, it's never really been like this because we've never had a band like My Chemical Romance go away for this long and then come back. What's the general reaction? Well, just gauging the meter online, it seemed to be off the charts, erupting with excitement. And if you've seen my videos on My Chem in the past, then you probably know my feelings that I genuinely do not want them to record more music. That might sound like something somebody who's not a fan would say, but I promise I know a lot of the other fans out there, maybe some of my fellow Killjoys, will understand when I say it was just a special place in time. It was more than just a band in a way. It was like a movement that was needed during the 2000s, and then it ended in 2013. And at the time, that brought about so much sadness. But I think in retrospect, most of us saw that they were thriving. The members of this band that were there until the end are now thriving in their solo careers, doing things that drive them passionately. And we've seen that with Frank, and obviously his different iterations of his music. And obviously we've got Ray Toro doing his own thing. I think that Gerard Way is doing great things, from his comics to getting adapted to Netflix for the Umbrella Academy. And to see everybody back to My Chem, if it's more than just a tour or even a one-night-only event, it's gonna be a little bit tough for me to get on board, because I'm gonna be so nervous. Like, what if the music sucks and kind of undermines the legacy that they had paved out before? I say that with every possible ounce of love that I have for My Chem in my heart, because they were such a special, untouchable place and moment and event and time. And to possibly see that get undermined, I just feel that they laid out a nearly flawless catalog, which not many bands can say, especially when they tried so many different and ambitious things, from rock operas to something that got a lot more personal, to even some of the songs on Danger Jays that just nobody would have expected. To see them possibly undermine that would be heart-wrenching for me. Let's have a look at this theory though. As many fans have been quick to point out, it seems that Gerard Way said many times that he'd love for My Chemical Romance to be like Smashing Pumpkins, at least in a way. That Billy Corgan-fronted band actually worked together for 12 years, as were My Chemical Romance originally from 2001 to 2013. And also with Smashing Pumpkins, this is where the theory really starts to get interesting, they were away, disbanded, broken up for 6 years before coming back. And apparently Gerard Way saw something in that. And if that's true, I mean, the timeline of events, they're actually really lined up, because My Chem coming back in 2019, that is indeed 6 years after 2013. Math is fun, and I'm definitely not flexing my single-digit addition skills. Yeah, this theory has a lot of credibility considering everything has pretty much already happened. I doubt it's coincidence, but also it could totally be. I mean, maybe 2019 was the time that their schedules all finally cleared up. And also, do we need to backpedal for a second? Do we owe Joe Jonas an apology? Does Frank Iero really owe Joe Jonas an apology? I mean, he went harder than I even remembered when I dug back into this, back when all of the news was breaking in June that Joe Jonas had leaked the My Chemical Romance reunion. I even did a video on it and I was like, yeah, Frank said it. I mean, he said it himself. That a show, and even teasing him, mocking him through that eyebrow-filled Instagram video where he was basically saying, you know, this is total bullshit. Yes, we're not reuniting. You just saw me and my band playing. And Joe never really said anything else on it because the internet essentially bullied him into silence, and I'm not saying that Joe Jonas probably still cries about that at night, but also, you know, went a little hard on him. I mean, I don't think I personally wrote him all that hard, but still, you know, it just seemed like maybe he saw something and was like, oh, you know, let me say this even though I'm not supposed to. And could it have been Frank's band? Sure. Was it My Chemical Romance? Probably, I'm thinking at this point. To really say where I fall on the map with this reunion, if it is a full-fledged reunion and a tour and everything else in the future, maybe even new music, I would have to say if their heart is in it, which time will tell if it is, if it seems like they're very passionate about it and they have a reason for existing in 2019 and into this new decade, the 2020s, then I'm going to try my best to get on board and excited for that. But again, a part of me is extremely nervous. You are playing with gold here, and if you drop that gold into the river and it just floats away, I don't want to see a legacy get tarnished, because we've all seen what bands like Fall Out Boy have kind of done to themselves at this point. It can get embarrassing sometimes, and I would never want that for a band as special as My Chemical Romance. I hope you guys understand that this is all just my take and opinion, and I would love to know what you think. I know so many people are excited, and I'm not trying to take that away from you. You have your right to, but again, just maybe use a little bit of cautious optimism there, because who knows exactly what's going to happen here, and this could just genuinely be a show, or maybe it's a tour. I guess we'll find out more in the coming days and weeks, but until then, thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe for the love of music, and join the neighborhood. And if you haven't seen it already, you can see more of my MyChem videos over here in this playlist, or tap here for another recent news update. All of my socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on Beyond ARTV.